Now again here, we're starting with the Werewolf project from the Chapter 6 folder. In the last segment, we talked about how to solo layers and how to lock them, which helped our workflow. But still, this is really noisy here in the timeline. There's a lot of stuff going on. It can be distracting. Even if I know exactly what I'm looking for, it'll probably take me too long to find it. So that's why we're going to talk about making layers shy. We do that by this little switch here. Kind of looks like a little Kilroy peeking over a wall here. And what we could do here is just click on him, and then he gets shy and bashful, and he goes and hides behind that little wall there. Ain't that adorable? Now you'll notice that there is a matching icon here at the top of the composition panel. So there's one for the layer and one for the whole composition. Why is that? Very intriguing. Well, what this does is it introduces the concept that there are local switches here in each layer, and then there are global switches here for the composition. You'll notice that many icons are like that. This one for frame blending, which looks like a series of film strips here. This one for motion blur, which looks like a series of circles. All of these properties have controls for both the composition level and the local layer level. Now, the reason why there are two switches, one at the layer level and one at the comp level, is so that you can click the one for the comp and in one click turn all off or all on. So what shy is going to do? It's going to hide all layers that are shy here in the timeline. Now, this will not be affected here visually on screen. Remember, solo affected what you're seeing on screen, but did not change the timeline panel. Shy is going to do the exact opposite. It's going to leave what we're seeing in the composition panel untouched and only hide the layers in the timeline panel. So with these three layers shy, I'm going to click the Master Shy switch, which will hide those three layers. Again, we're still seeing the werewolf, we're still seeing the glow. It's all still here, but they're temporarily hidden or made shy. Now, because the master switch for the comp is selected, if we just click one of these shy icons, these layers will just disappear one at a time. So let's say we just wanted to work on the landscape. We could hide all those other layers and just work on the landscape, and it's like we don't even have a really complex project at all. And then to get all those back, you'll see the glory, the benefit of having a composition-wide switch that we can just click once and get everything back in one fell swoop. And even though frame blending and motion blur do completely different things, they still operate on the same principle. Frame blending and motion blur both slow the computer way down. So it's a great benefit to be able to turn off and on frame blending or motion blur for all the layers that they are applied to at once. Now, it's kind of self-explanatory, but to unshy a layer, just click it, and you could actually just click and drag here to make these layers unshy. And so even though our project here is very complicated and it takes up a significant portion of the screen here, with the click of a button, essentially, we can clean up shop. And we can work only on the layers that we want to see in the timeline.